If another pandemic, financial crisis, or war takes the world by surprise, how prepared are you? If you speak controversial truths online and get cancelled, doxxed, sued, or politically targeted, how vulnerable are your assets and the people you care about? Every day, people are caught off guard and see their whole lives fall apart. And in 2026, anything could happen. But here's the good news. You can build a life that's structurally impervious to these shocks. You can become practically untouchable. In this video, I'm laying out 10 battle-tested steps that make you resilient to the big threats: geopolitical chaos, legal attacks, personal disasters, and financial collapse. These aren't theories. This is exactly what globally mobile families and smart expats have been doing for decades. These are methods used by elites with a lot to lose, from Jeff Bezos to Andrew Tate. So stay with me, and by the end, you'll know exactly where to start. Step 1. Build a 3-passport portfolio. If you have just one country's citizenship, you have a single point of failure. So step 1 is to secure 3 citizenships from strategically chosen regions. Why is this so powerful? Because it gives you instant jurisdictional redundancy. If one country imposes capital controls, political pressure, or conscription, another gives you a clean exit path. Recent history shows the value of second citizenships clearly. Ukrainian men, for example, without second passports are forced right now to fight Russians in a war. Many Israeli hostages in Gaza were released because they held alternative citizenship. During the pandemic, Australian citizens were not allowed to leave the country for more than a year and a half, but those who had dual citizenship could leave using their other passports. I could go on citing examples, but I think you get the point. Alternative citizenships can help you out of a long list of predicaments. But where should you get your 3 citizenships? Well, I would highlight 3 regions. 1, from the Southern Cone, a region that hardly ever gets into geopolitical trouble. See our video on why the Southern Cone is where you want to be in a global crisis. I would get another passport from the European Union or the European Economic Area for the varied lifestyle options it affords. It also gives you access to 30 countries with a single passport. And then I would choose a passport from a strategically autonomous middle power, probably one country like Turkey, which has the world's largest network of consular posts after the US and China, which can be very useful in a crisis. So your first action is to secure residency in one of these regions. Getting to citizenship can take years, but if you're willing to invest or you have ancestry in the country, that path can be shortened considerably. But of course, passports alone don't make you untouchable. Where you live matters too. Step 2. Establish 3 home bases. Step 2 is to establish ownership or at least control over properties in 3 distinct regions. Europe for lifestyle, education, and access. Again, the Southern Cone for geopolitical stability and food and energy security. And a third in a neutral or diverse alignment country, which can be your contingency base. This could be a place like Istanbul, Dubai, or Singapore, for example, or maybe even Turkey. This creates physical resilience. So if one region becomes risky, you move seamlessly to another. You never rely on a single jurisdiction. Europe offers high quality of life, the Southern Cone offers distance from global flashpoints, and your contingency country gives you a fallback if both East and West face synchronized crises. When war broke out in Ukraine, for example, more than 5 million people relocated to the EU in a matter of months, and families who already had homes abroad transitioned with almost no disruption. So start with modest functional properties and make sure at least one has basic resilience like water independence or solar backup. Step 3. Build location-independent income. If you haven't already, start now building income streams that allow you to earn money wherever you are. Could you move countries tomorrow without disruption to your cash flow? Location-independent income can take a lot of forms. You have remote businesses like e-commerce, SaaS, consulting, or content. You can have dividend-paying equities, rental properties, you name it. There are many ways, many sources of location-independent income. Start building them now. Step 4. Self-custodied crypto. Hold a meaningful portion of your net worth in self-custodied cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. This is your portable, seizure-resistant capital. No bank manager, court, or hostile government can freeze assets held in a hardware wallet secured with multi-sig. Practice good good wallet hygiene and store your seed phrase securely. Venezuela's hyperinflation showed the difference. People who held Bitcoin preserved real purchasing power, while the Bolivar collapsed by 99%. When Russia was cut off from SWIFT, crypto rails became an instant workaround for cross-border moves. And the FTX collapse proved the oldest rule in crypto: not your keys, not your coins. One more thing, create an inheritance protocol so your family can access your keys if something happens to you. Step 5. Diversify banking across 5 to 7 jurisdictions. Step 5 is to open 5 to 7 bank accounts across different regulatory spheres. The US or Singapore for global markets, Switzerland or the Cayman Islands for stability and professionalism, UAE or Liechtenstein for jurisdictions that require low court processes before enforcing foreign judgments. If one account is frozen, the others keep operating. During the 2022 Canada trucker protests, for example, accounts were frozen instantly, but those with foreign banking continued life as usual. Sanctioned individuals in many regions maintain full access to UAE or neutral jurisdiction banking because these countries don't automatically enforce foreign civil rulings. Step 6. Offshore companies, trusts, and foundations. Talk to an expert in international structuring and asset protection. Based on your specific situation, they may recommend solutions like holding companies in neutral, tax-efficient jurisdictions like the Cayman Islands or the British Virgin Islands, operating companies in business-friendly hubs like Estonia or the UAE, asset protection trusts in the Cook Islands or Nevis, foundations in Liechtenstein, Panama, or Malta. If properly structured, these setups make it extremely difficult for lawsuits, creditors, or ex-spouses to reach your assets. It doesn't make you immune to claims, but it radically shifts the balance of power in your favor. Cook Islands trusts have a decades-long track record of defeating the vast majority of foreign creditor attempts. Major dynastic families, Walton, Koch, and others, use similar multi-layered structures to maintain wealth through divorces and lawsuits for generations. But hire a specialist. This is not DIY territory. Step 7. Hold physical gold. Hold part of your wealth in physical gold, divided between a small local cache for emergencies, a major vault position in Singapore, Zurich, Panama, or maybe all three, and maybe you even want to bury some gold coins on your finca in South America. Gold is your crisis money, liquid during system failures. But keep in mind, it's unlikely you'll be able to travel across borders with large quantities of the stuff. So stash some gold away in various strategic locations across the globe. Gold is also an excellent hedge against financial crises. When stock market investors flee to safety, they tend to head for gold, which has a millennia-long history of retaining its value through tumultuous periods. History proves this works. During World War II, gold enabled families, especially across Eastern Europe, to survive displacement and rebuild abroad. In Venezuela's 2010s collapse, gold became a lifeline when the financial system disintegrated. Step 8. Borders open medical insurance. Get global medical insurance for your entire family. A number of providers offer coverage across 190 countries with emergency evacuation and cashless hospital access. When Lebanon's crisis hit in 2020, expats with international coverage were flown out to functioning medical systems, while locals without it were trapped. During COVID border closures, insured patients were evacuated on private medical flights. If you don't have this, one medical crisis can undo a decade of wealth building. Step 9. Invisible, resilient daily habits. Step 9 is about the soft skills that make you practically untouchable. These are daily habits. Live primarily in non-draft countries to avoid conscription risk. Never disclose wealth or crypto holdings online. Europe saw crypto-targeted kidnappings in the UK, Spain, and the Netherlands in 2022. Keep your travel plans private. High-profile individuals have been compromised through careless location posts. Maybe you want to learn the languages of your bases. Spanish or Portuguese. If you're in Asia, maybe you want to speak Mandarin. A year of study gets you functional in practically any language. Maintain real physical fitness. During Ukraine's evacuations, fit parents carried their children 20 kilometers to safety. Pick one of these habits and start this week. Step 10. Build a global network of friends and fixers. While the rest of the steps on this list have to do with structures and planning, the last step is more art than science. Building a globally distributed network network of friends might seem frivolous, but it's actually one of the most important things you can do to shield yourself. Solo preppers fail. Networked expats prevail. You want to have a group of friends in each of your 3 bases, and ideally in even more places. You want to be able to show up in a place on short notice and have a close circle already in place. Not just for safety purposes, but also for your own quality of life. You don't want to have to start completely from scratch. So build trusted personal networks in each base. In Sri Lanka's 2022 unrest, for example, it was personal networks, not government services, that got families food, fuel, and safe passage. But beyond just friends, you should also cultivate a global network of fixers, lawyers, accountants, pilots, and influential locals in at least 3 countries. People who know how to operate in the local system and who are well connected. When Edward Snowden escaped, it was contacts, not cash, that moved him through borders. When Jews had to escape European pogroms in the 1930s and 40s, many of them went to New York City, where they already had friends and relatives who could help them get a new start. Relationships make you resilient. So there you have it, your complete resilience blueprint. 1, a 3 passport strategy. 2, 3 home bases. 3, location-independent income. 4, self-custodied crypto. 5, banking in 5 to 7 jurisdictions. 6, multi-layered offshore structures. 7, physical gold holding. 8, global medical insurance. 9, daily invisibility habits. And 10, a global network of friends and fixers. This is the exact system used by globally mobile families to stay safe, solvent, and free through every modern crisis. None of this is illegal. It's simply advanced life planning for a chaotic world. All of this takes time, money, and effort. So start today.